Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's History World, and we are at the Star Fort, Second Battle of Winchester, Winchester, Virginia. Now, in my travels for work and everything, I was able to visit here on this November 7th. We have a couple hours before our General Mills meetings. So, let's take a look at the Second Battle of Winchester, the Star Fort. I've never been here. One of the things I try to do is explore history and visit places that aren't so much on the main trail. Now, I'm Scott Mingus, famous author and historian, and I'm in the middle of his book of the Second Battle of Winchester, and I really should have worked on reading that a little quicker, since I'm in Winchester for 3 days. All right, well, let's go into the interior of the fort. And this tour is as if you were with me, walking along. So here we are in the Star Fort itself. All right. Now, the reason forts are built in the Vadamon system in the Star Fort is it gives flanking fire, where if it's a straight wall, it's easier for the attackers to attack. Now we have a historical marker coming up, and I do have a pretty nice morning, a little overcast, but for November, it's not too cool. I hope you're enjoying this morning November walk through a historic site. It's better than sitting in the hotel room watching news. All right, let's take a look at our historical marker. The Second Battle of Winchester. The clear route north for the remainder of Robert E. Lee's infantry for General Jubal A. Early's division of Richard S. Ewell's corps attacked the forts that guarded Winchester. After Early captured West Fort on June 14, 1863, Union Captain Frederick Alexander's Baltimore light artillery here at the Star Fort opened fire, forced the Confederate gunners in West Fort to seek cover. The guns in the Star Fort greeted them with a shell and planted among them with astonishing precision, recalled the Union soldier. Alexander's accuracy thrilled the Union defenders of Fort Milroy and the men of Colonel Andrew T. McReynolds' brigade, who occupied the rifle pits that skirted Star Fort's perimeter. The artillerists themselves regarded some of their officers with newfound respect. Lieutenant Leary, for example, whose men had not liked him, took an active role in making certain that battery maintained its rate of fire. Our little Lieutenant Leary recalled a veteran of the Baltimore Light Artillery whom the boys did not think much of up at that time, stripped off his coat, took a hand in loading and firing the cannon in his shirt sleeves. The efforts of the Baltimore battery, however, proved futile, with the Confederate forces outnumbering the Federals and with no help of reinforcements. Union General Robert H. Milroy decided to withdraw from Winchester. The evacuation culminated several miles north. Here, at Stephen's Depot, June 15th, when Confederate General Edward Johnson's division intercepted the retreating Federals and captured half of them. All right. Well, there's Lieutenant Leary, who stripped down to his shirt sleeve and grabbed a ramrod and helped load and fire the artillery here at the Star Fort. Private Richard Bassford, Baltimore Light Artillery, captured the Second Battle of Winchester. And it sounds like our Union artillerymen in the Star Fort put up a tremendous fight, and so this fort's over 150 years old, of course, and we have more placards to go look at. So I'm trying to, we're going to walk the outer perimeter. It's a pretty big fort. When you think about how much erosion has happened in over 150 years, it's still pretty substantial. All right. Let's go check out some of these more of these placards. All right, this is the exterior of our fort, and you can see, you know, the soldiers. You got to imagine this wall, this earthen wall, would be even higher than it is now, and it's still probably 12, 15 feet high. There would also be wooden fasces, big wooden pointy sticks, and here's a view of this side. So you'd have artillery firing down, infantry and rifle pits. Very formidable. Something I like to mention is my history channel has hit over 300 viewers now, subscribers. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you that are watching my channel. This channel is different than the Wargaming channel. It's pure history. And I also like to do a shout out to Chris of VA Travels YouTube site. Chris has like 5,000 subscribers. He does fantastic drone and editing work in his videos, where my videos are just rough like they are, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. All right, let's go check another placard. All right, we are in the construction of the Star Fort. General Robert H. Milroy and his division entered Winchester January 1st, 1863. His soldiers rotated doing different projects working on Winchester's defenses. Guard duty, building the Star Fort, the construction of the Star Fort, and placement of the artillery. Let's see here. January 20th, 1863, they had taken to the stones to build the fortifications. So, we're going to try to do a little bit here of this. So here's our fort there. And here's the city of Winchester. And of course, going north is West Virginia, which, of course, right now we're in Virginia. And then, of course, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And this is the route to Gettysburg. All right. Beautiful day for a morning walk before a General Mills meeting. This fort was quite substantial. So January of 63, but by July of 63, it was being attacked by General Early. All right, here's another view of the walls. We're going to pause the camera here and see if we can find another roadside marker. Well, as I walk, I like to mention inside the fort and outside the fort, there are several benches and walking paths. I encountered a nice lady just a moment ago walking her dog. So it's nice that this has been restored or kept from development. We don't have a Walmart here or a 7-Eleven, but we've kept some history and a nice walking trail for people to enjoy a little bit of history along with fresh air and some trees. And also what I like about the cooler weather is I don't have to encounter any snakes. So unlike I don't do the wandering woodsman style videos were tramping around looking for rattlesnakes, but you do encounter wildlife at times. All right. Now, this gives you an idea how big this fort really was. I mean, it's over 100 yards across. These walls are huge on this side. Now, I'm walking along that path, and I had to pause the camera. I encountered another person walking. And look at this. I mean, this is a 20-foot, I bet this is close to 20 feet, and this is eroded for over 150 years. I mean, this was no easy task for the Confederates to capture. The Union did a fantastic job building this star fort. And once again, Scott Mingus is he does bus tours and videos on the Second Battle of Winchester, and I hope sometime I can interview him again. It'd be really nice to try to make a video set with him walking the different parts of the battlefield. Maybe that's something I could see if he'd be interested in doing. Well, this is how it would look. A Union defender getting up on top of the wall, looking down. And I'm not sure if you can tell in scale, but this fort is really impressive. This earthen fort is really amazing. It's a good 100 yards across. And I'm going to say, if you're in Winchester, Virginia, visit. There's so much history here. George Washington's headquarters. And 3 battlefields, cemeteries, Stonewall Jackson's headquarters, the Museum of the Shenandoah. Just a ton of stuff to see here. All right, I have to get to my General Mills meetings. Please like and subscribe as I try to grow the History Channel. And that's about it for now. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, visit your local history site, museum near you. And thank you for watching. Well, I'd like to close this video out with Scott Mingus's book, The Second Battle of Winchester, co-written with Eric J. Wittenberg. Scott Mingus does tours of the Second Battle of Winchester through the Shenandoah Valley Battlefields Foundation. You can contact Scott Mingus for a tour at scottmingus@yahoo.com. I believe he has a bus tour planned for November 14th, right here in Winchester, Virginia. And Scott Mingus has many awesome books on the American Civil War. I highly recommend them, and they're all approved by Goober the Traveling Bear. Thank you, everyone.